Well, good evening and welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbau. Now, former captain of the Black Stars, Asamoah Gyan, is backing the four-time Africa champions to go beyond the group stages at this year's World Cup in Qatar. Ghana reached the round of 16 in 2006 edition and secured a quarter-final berth 4 years later, but failed to make it to the round of 16 in 2014 in Brazil. Asamoah Gyan believes Black Stars have what it takes to make the last 16 in this year's tournament.
It's possible. It's possible because I've been in that situation before. Ghana have been ruled as underdogs, and we were able to qualify. 2006, 2010, we didn't qualify in 2014, but we've done it before. So there's a possibility we can qualify from a group stage, but they have to prove me right.
We have a very tough task ahead of us in Qatar, and some call it unfinished business with Portugal and Uruguay. Some say we're going to do well, others say we'll come more after the first round and all of that. From what you said, how do you assess things?
That is where the players have to challenge themselves. You know, sometimes that is what I always say. Sometimes opinions also matters. Sometimes, you know, hey, Charlie. People will say this. People will say this. You have to take certain things, but at the end of the day, you will make the final decision. But at least you have to see what is going on around town. Like, hey, people are saying revenge. People are saying this. It can even motivate you to prove a point. So, for me, I think everything will depend on the Black Stars. Not only the players, the playing body. You know, because you don't only depend on those going on the field. We have to do our whole.
The Black Stars will engage Switzerland in their last friendly game on Thursday in Abu Dhabi. Head coach Eto'o has underscored the importance of the game.
We have the possibility to play against, very good team. It's a good challenge before the World Cup, and the last test for us is very good to try things and to also position some play, and then also from a tactical point of view we can also have some more insights on tactical things. We have a lot of still a lot of work to do. We analyze Switzerland, so we have to adapt to their style, and because depending on their system, there are different positions we have to take and different gaps we have to use. And then also defensively, it's a bit of a different approach. So this demands sometimes also different players. So, but we're prepared, and actually in all, it's a very good preparation for Portugal. A very, very strong team. They've shown that with qualifying for the World Cup that they are really, really good team. They have good players in their team who play at high clubs, and for us it's a very, very good test. Everybody is ready, everybody's hungry, we're looking forward for the World Cup, but surely it's also about positions. So like the 11 is not 100% sure, so everybody has the chance to show himself again and to show us as technical staff that they're capable of playing international games, and this is a good test. Like I said, the guys look sharp, they're ready. It's a very, very good challenge for us to play Switzerland, and this can also make impact for our decisions who will play against Portugal.
Now, over the last few weeks, Thomas Partey has been in inspired form for Arsenal as the Gunners dispatched London rivals Chelsea and the rest of the Premier League to go 5 clear on top of the Premier League table. Black Stars deputy captain has been called up into the Ghana's 26-man squad for the World Cup. But while he plays as a defensive midfielder for the Gunners, there's a debate as to how Ghana can derive the best out of the 29-year-old. Now, George Sports, Michelle Queno, who specializes in football tactics, breaks down, joins me in studio for some analysis relative to how Thomas Partey can best be positioned to get the best out of him for the Black Stars at the World Cup. Mesh, what do you have for us?
Right, I have for you just a little presentation on how we can best, deploy Partey at the World Cup. But before we understand how we can get the best out of Partey, we have to do a little bit of history, go back the last 1 year and see how Partey has played for the Black Stars, and also see how he has played for Arsenal this season. So what I have for you today is the Partey dilemma, how the Black Stars can get the best out of Partey in Qatar. So, since January 2021 up to now, Partey has played 10 games for the Black Stars. The Black Stars have actually played about 21 games, but due to some injuries and niggling issues, Partey has featured in just 10 of those games. And in 10 of those games, Partey has played 7 times as a defensive midfielder and 3 times as a central midfielder. If you can see, should I call it a chart? Yeah, a chart here. You can see against Sao Tome and Principe, he played as a defensive midfielder all through to Gabon, where he played as a central midfielder, and then Comoros at the Africa Cup of Nations, where he played as a defensive midfielder, and the 2 playoff games versus Nigeria, where he played as a central midfielder alongside Idris Baba.
Playing as a defensive midfielder, playing as a central midfielder, what's different? What's the distinction between playing as a defensive midfielder?
When you're playing as a defensive midfielder, it means your movement is more restricted, even if the team is going to, is even with possession and attacking, because Pep Guardiola said, when you are attacking and you start thinking about defense, then only after you lose the ball, you've already conceded. You've already failed in defending. So once you attack, you have to look for a structure and a way to absorb opposition counter-attacks and all of that. We'll get to that. It was great as that question. We'll get to that very shortly. But let's look at how he's played for Arsenal this season. In all 11 Arsenal games this season, he's played as a defensive midfielder. And to understand how Partey should play for the Black Stars, you have to understand that there's no certainty, there's no assurance that Partey is going to play for the Black Stars as he does at Arsenal.
In terms of the outputs.
In terms of not just the output, but in terms of, let's say, the style and what the expectations Ghanaians are leveling on him. The systems are different, the quality is also different, and the Arsenal have been together, their players' current crop have been together for about 3 years. This current Black Stars team they are almost new, relatively new. Especially looking in the midfield with Elisha Owusu and Abdul Salih Samed come in. So one thing you have to understand is that Partey is not going to, do not expect that Arsenal Partey. He's going to do his best, but just don't expect the Arsenal Partey. I'm also going to give you another reason why you shouldn't expect the Arsenal Partey. At Arsenal, they also play in a 4-3-3, just like the Black Stars. But there's a difference in terms of the system. When Arsenal are with the ball, their shape just translates into a 2-3-5. I'm going to show you the graphic very soon. Into a 2-3-5 when they are in possession. That's when they are with the ball. And in this 2-3-5, the advanced midfielders play on either side of Partey. They push higher up and form a front line of 5. Meanwhile, the Black Stars is 4-3-3. When they are in possession, they play in a 3-1-4-2. And normally, you're going to see our left winger shift in and join the striker as a front 2. I'm going to show you the graphic real soon. So this is what I meant by Arsenal's 2-3-5. So in this picture, you can already see like 8 of Arsenal's outfield players. Here we have, let me get this pen. Okay, let's just do this. So here we have 3 of Arsenal's players right here. This is Thomas Partey right in the central. We have Ben White here as a right back who's moved in centrally. And we also have Zinchenko. Who's also right on the far left of Partey, as you can see right here. So this is Zinchenko, this is Thomas Partey, and this is Ben White. So this is a solid base 3 men for Arsenal when they are progressing. I told they play in a 2-3-5. So now here we have Saka, we have Odegaard, we have Jesus swap places with Martinelli here, and we also have Vieira, who's making an underlapping run. And this is their last game versus Wolves, where Odegaard scored 2 goals. And this is how the first goal came about. The reason why it's important to understand this structure is because, let me give this a little bit of history. When Pep Guardiola first went to Germany with Bayern Munich, one thing he realized was that it was very easy for his team to concede goals when they lose possession, because the German teams, they go right through the heart of a team when they're on the counter-attack. So one thing invented fullbacks. And that's one thing we can see here with Ben White and Zinchenko. So here you can see, immediately if Arsenal lost the ball right here, they have 3 players right in here to act as a first line of pressure to win the ball back. But let's look at the Black Stars structure. With the Black Stars in their 4-3-3, anytime they are with the ball, you always have a single player in the central spaces. In this case, Ghana versus Nigeria, the home leg was Thomas Partey, and we have the two advanced midfielders slightly higher up. So in the situation where Ghana loses the ball, Nigeria have so much space to play through the midfield because you can see all this space right here. And so this is the structure which is important to understand how Partey is going to play for the Blacks and how Partey plays at Arsenal. And also to understand, the Black Stars have scored just about 12 goals in their last 10 competitive games. When you compare that to the output provided by Ghana's counterparts in Group H, you can see it right here. Portugal have scored the most goals, 18 goals, followed by South Korea with 16, Uruguay with 13, and Ghana with 12. And that shows definitely that Ghana is not. We don't really, are not really good offensively, although we have a lot of exciting attacking talent. And this is where Partey comes in. Since Partey scored his debut goal for the Black Stars, there's no other Black Stars player who has scored more goals than Partey. Here you can see the chart. Partey has 12 goals since September 2017. That was 1st September, followed by Andre Ayew, Mohamed Kudus, and the new guys who have just joined the team for the World Cup. And so for Ghana to get the best out of Partey, it's important that we play him as a central midfielder ahead of a defensive midfielder, because in that case, you're able to release Partey to go on and do what he can do in terms of attacking. And we saw that in the away leg to Nigeria and Abuja, where Partey scored that only goal to qualify Black Stars to the World Cup. And I think this can be, facilitated more because in the Black Stars at the moment, we have Salis Adams. So now we have Salis Samed and Baba Idrisu. The reason why I brought this here is because I want you to understand how Partey can flourish as a central midfielder without the Black Stars losing, defensively. Here we have Abdul Salis Samed versus Baba Idrisu, who has been the first choice for Otto Addo ever since he came in. But while the Black Stars look to play, they look to be more ball dominant. In their last competitive games, they have about 57 plus possession. And you can see how Salis Samed can help the Black Stars at the World Cup. In his games with RC Lens, accurate passes per game, 55.3, which ranks high in League One. And you can see that's for Baba Idrisu, just 15.2 in the Spanish La Liga. Together with other stats, which obviously shows that on the ball, Salis Samed is a better choice as compared to Baba Idrisu, meaning that we can release Partey to go a bit forward and make sure that he contributes in the team's attacking display. And coupled with a player like Daniel Kofi.
And, so that's trying to provide perspective relative to how we can get the best of Thomas Partey. And so you're just talking about Daniel Kofi.
Daniel Kofi, I believe pairing Daniel Kofi together with Partey, with Salih Abdul Samed at the base, we can get that defensive solidity we require versus Portugal and Uruguay. Yes, to have that, offensive, output. Because ever since Daniel Kofi made his Black Stars debut, that was last year, at the club level, no other Black Stars midfielder going to the World Cup has more goal contributions than him in terms of goals and assists. 50 goals and 9 assists for him, followed by Andre Ayew, who has 16 and 2. Then Mohamed Kudus, 11 and 3. Thomas Partey, 4 goals and 0 assists. And Elisha Owusu, 0 goals and 0 assists. Abdul Salis Samed, 2 goals and 0 assists. And with these two guys, it's not really a problem because they are defensive midfielders. But with this, we obviously understand that playing Partey as a central midfielder and not a defensive midfielder at the World Cup is going to help Ghana, get goals, probably versus Uruguay and Portugal. And in our first game against Portugal, although we need to be defensive resolute, we also need that goal, which has always been losing for the Black Stars because we don't score so much.
As far as Thomas Partey is concerned, if you want to get the best out of him, and getting the best out of Thomas Partey means getting him to create for the team and also get goals for the team.
Exactly.
And the best way we can get that out of him is if we put him in that central midfield position.
Get a proper DM to replace him in that spot.
That's Michelle Aquino there, offering fascinating perspective related to how we can get the best out of Thomas Partey. We need the best of Thomas Partey if we want to progress in this World Cup. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back. We have more for you here. Welcome back. But staying with the Black Stars, Management Committee member Alhaji Grusa says the squad put together by the technical team is good enough to compete at the World Cup.
It's also, but the first phase we are looking, the technical.
Are you surprised at the list he brought out?
This is not surprise. It's a coach and it's a scout. He knows what it's about.
If you look at our goalkeepers, Alhaji, you'll be sincere.
The goalkeepers, no goalkeeper. Bring us goalkeeper. The one you want.
2 local-based players, are you okay?
Only 2.
Are you satisfied?
Not only. Not only. This is the second term. We have 206. We get Sheila and Habib Mohammed. I hope these players also to go and play because Sheila and Habib Mohammed, they come from King Faisal. At that time, our coach is a very good coach.
But now it is only 2. Danlad, goalkeeper.
This only. Don't say only 2. You want to take? Then take all local players to go and play. I like it.
So Alhaji,
you have to talk sincerely. Don't talk biased topic like what you are saying.
Alhaji,
only. You mean me? I don't understand. But only, what do you mean?
Mean 2.
Mean 2. You want him to take more?
Okay, Alhaji. If you look at the group, if you look at the group we are in, we are playing Portugal our first game. Is Ghana under pressure?
Oh. No, any group, any team, not under pressure. Any team in the world in this group is under pressure. You imagine last 2 World Cup in Brazil. You know, German can score Brazil 7.
No.
Yeah, they score them 7. Okay. It's under pressure.
And so, if you look at our attacking price, I know you are the reason
attacking. Let me tell you, you don't have the one we have. They have injury. What do you want?
So at the end of the day, should Ghanaians expect a lot from the Black Stars?
Inshallah, we should pray. May I believe in prayers.
Well, I also believe in prayers. The Venerable Alhaji Grusa, but in golf, the 2022 edition of the Cinderella Open Golf Championship has teed off at Idukrum in the eastern region of Ghana. And Asari Bediako was there for Joy Sports.
Golfers across the country are competing for the ultimate prize in the 4-day tournament in the eastern region. Top Ghanaian professional golfer Vincent Toga, who has been dominating the West African scene in the last 5 years, is one of the favorites to win the Cinderella Open Golf Championship. Toga is ready for the huge task ahead.
I just came back the day before yesterday from Nigeria. And I can see myself ready for this tournament this week. I've been playing so well, and I'm looking forward to continue the winning race that I've been already. I won the one in Samatas already, so I'm looking forward. I'm solid confidence this week to.
Ask course.
I would say I know the course. I've been here once to practice. I was privileged to practice here yesterday. And so I kind of see the layout, and I'm ready, prepared for the short game. It's kind of short game golf course. You don't have to hit the ball too long. You just have to be precise with your decision on the short game. So I think I've worked hard enough for that, and I'm looking forward to the challenges on the course.
The Cinderella Open Golf Championship is being organized by the Professional Golfers Association of Ghana. Mark Kofi is president.
The calendar has been busy, and the sponsors have had various commitments. So this was the best time of the year to host the next one, which is this one. I believe the next tournament in the series is going to be held back in Sabraboy, where we played the Samatex Mahogany Open the first time. And then we shall return here for the final of the series of 4. Obviously, you can play golf any day and compete anytime, but the PGA has taken the calendar year to be the duration for our tour. So the next 2 tournaments are likely to enter into the 2023 calendar, even though we may play one of them after the PGA Championship.
So that's it for tonight as far as Prime Sports is concerned. With me, Razak Musbau. About 10 a.m. tomorrow, the Black Stars will be in action in their final pre-World Cup friendly against Switzerland. You might want to check that out. Do have a lovely evening, but up next...